everybody! Welcome back to Eve That Goes Radio. So, whatever time it is, you are here with us on Eve That Goes Radio. As I usually say, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, pilots and capsuleers alike. I totally did that in reverse, on purpose. You know why? Because I'm a goofball. And this week, we are based out of a little station in Genesis in a cute little system named Genfed. We stopped by for a little while to negotiate some terms with local miners on Genfed 6 to get some nice base metals. There's some generous folk down there. Anyway, we took over their transmitters, and I'm Frankie. We have a little show here for you, so lean back for some great tunes mixed in with a ton of cool news that is crisscrossing New Eden. And we have our first song for you of the day. Our first song is going to be a very famous, I don't know, I guess it's a classic at this point in time. It's called Beer by Psychostick. And thanks again, Rob, for letting me use your music.
I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer.
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! And stop! Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
Let's go drink some beer! Tastes real crappy, but cold beer will make me happy. When I throw up on the floor, I can go and drink some more. They say beer will make me dumb, it aren't no good with pizza. Now that we have drunk some beer, let's go drive a car.
Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good! And stop! Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
Let's go drink some beer!
Alright, everybody, that was Psychostick with the beer song, possibly the closest thing they've ever come to a hit. They are absolutely awesome, the coolest guys, very, very nice guys. And so, for our first segment of the night, clearly we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the developer wing of the Jovians and their most current antics. So, the Jove have realized that they need to have a better connection to capsuleers spread across New Eden, so they've undertaken a number of large-scale initiatives to allow these things to come to fruition. The first of these is a ban notice that they just released this morning, which is insane. Apparently, the Jove have deactivated the privileges of almost 69,000 capsuleers. That's right. A vast number of pilots that were banned for a variety of reasons, but mostly, and by a good shot, 66.6%. Wow, 66.6% if you round up, were hit for RMT operations. We actually really like this step and think it will be a great thing to help reinforce the idea that they care about New Eden and the sanctity of the market and us, the pilots. The second of these is a weekly Q&A, where they take questions submitted by capsuleers just like you, and they find ones they think are worth answering to the greater public, and the pilots that submit good questions get an extension of their Omega pilot licenses. And that is really cool. So, hey, for the first round, the Jove answered 4 questions. A question on the differences of the abilities of shields and armor were confirmed to be intentional, and the technology was confirmed to be sturdy. 2 questions on the capability of autonomous flight earned the responses that better flight mechanics with better capabilities were in development by many groups across New Eden, so look forward to the potential leaps in that technology. The final question talked about Lightning Concorde's control over higher security areas and allowing forces to fight there if necessary in a sort of factional warfare. However, the Jove have completely seemed to have missed the point of this question and talked about adjusting training programs that new pilots start off with. They dodged it completely. The final of these might be our favorite, actually. The Jove are accepting hate mail now. At least hate mail that's provided in good taste. And safe for work, kind of good taste. The pilots to send the best hate mail will be able to see the Joves read out it's like mean tweets on Jimmy Kimmel. They will read out your problems that you have with their designs for New Eden on video, and that stream will have it eventually. And that's going to be interesting. At the very least, it's an attempt to humanize and connect Jove with their audience, so we can't say that's a bad thing. Remember that video contest? We totally missed the video contest winners. It seems like it snuck right past us. They put up a long ranking of all the winners and their various scores, but there weren't any standout surprises. Many have voiced their disapproval about how the contest was run, with us, Eve Echoes Radio, being on the forefront of those complaints, and the winners being announced doesn't really change any of our thoughts on the entire matter. But congratulations to the first place winner, Pandemic. This was easily the highest quality video we saw, and it definitely deserved first place if any video did. Its design had a nice aesthetic, and the sound design wasn't horrible. Nilfgaard Warriors was the one video that held out the longest. It was always on our radar as a likely winner, and came out as a very nice finisher in second place. And then the Menmati Slammer really took the contest to extremes and snagged third place by understanding the point behind the contest. That's right. They snagged third place, even though they misunderstood the point of the contest. And that's right, this video was a music video with a psychedelic background that didn't have any information about Eve Echoes or a corporation it was involved with. No, it was a flashy, eye-grabbing, and really not horrible to listen to video that had nothing to do with the game. In fact, we're quite surprised it didn't end up winning first place, to be honest with you. Oh, man. And so that's going to bring us off to our second song of the night, and which definitely isn't a Manmati Slammer. Instead, it happens to be it happens to be a Leo Moracchioli song. I haven't played Leo in a long time. Lego Leo from Norway. And this is his cover of Africa, done in a very special his way.
Tonight, but she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:35. The moonlight wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. Turn to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more can ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never had.
Eagle rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, fighting off this thing that I've become. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I best arrange down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never
In the beginning, there was a group named Star Legion, and they were a powerhouse of well-coordinated, high-skilled pilots that fought against the much larger groups of PIBC and Terran Federation that had risen to prominence in and around Delve. However, they didn't have the numbers to hold off the growing threats, and Star Legion imploded upon itself. In its death throes, the Star Legion ignited and, like a supernova, ejected hardened veterans into regions across New Eden. A number of the senior FCs of Star Legion found themselves in a new region of space with new enemies and potential allies. Determined to push forward, they founded a new corporation named Centuria I. This corporation has gone where Star Legion could not. With the benefit of a fresh start and training in adverse conditions, Centuria I has come to the forefront of many battles, breaking their enemy spirits or leading the charge with their allies following close behind. Centuria line pilots can be found on the front lines fighting the wars, behind the enemy's back lines blowing up reinforcements that are coming in, or back at home building the ships to fuel the next conflict. They accept all recruits into the fold. New players are readily accepted and helped to reach a point where they can understand the mechanics that they've decided to specialize in. Really important. The culture of Centuria I is that of resilience, of surviving through adversity and remaining a cohesive unit that can take whatever New Eden throws at them. If that excites you, then reach out to CENI, that's a tag, CENI, The Harrowing, number 6969 on Discord. That should be in the video information and description. Centuria I, from Ashes. This is Eve Echoes Radio. So, let's talk about some battles. Let's talk about battles. So the Genfed Death Phantom War is still ongoing. Genesis Federation has a public DP kill board on their Discord that is now topped well over 400 billion ISK in killed ships, and those numbers keep going higher. And like I said, it's public, it's on their Discord, I've seen it, and it's verifiable. Unfortunately, we have yet to see any concrete or verifiable numbers from DP, or anything that hasn't been propaganda, honestly. Friday night, Genesis Federation fleeted up over 500 pilots to hit a DP station, and fabulous. Yeah, there. Upon arrival, they found almost 600 pilots waiting in the next system over. You know, the system that actually had a station in it. However, even though the developers were contacted and asked to expand the server and reinforce those nodes, the pilots at Genesis Federation quickly found that there was a system capacity of only 600 in the systems surrounding the stations. Pilots couldn't even jump in to assail the outpost. This made it impossible for anybody to have an equal fight and completely destroyed all purpose behind the operation. 2 hours later, the devs did raise the system cap, but according to our sources, it was 2 hours too late. The timer had run its course, with both sides having lost many ships and small clashes on the borderline systems. A situation like this makes large-scale fleet battles, the likes of which have already been done and will be attempted constantly, absolutely ridiculous. How is a game whose major draw is large-scale fleet combat failing at large-scale fleet combat so freaking badly? Well, with that being said, we're going to play a Neil Cicierega song that has nothing to do with what I was just talking about, but ironically it's called Dope!
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah, baby. His teeth back to eat on these yeah, baby. It never changes a thing. The weak is the weak. I like the boys in the cannon lie. 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 Boys in the cannon lie.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack. You may find yourself in another part of the world. You may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. You may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by. Let the water hold me down. Letting the days go by. Water flowing into the blue again. After the money's gone, once in a lifetime. Water flowing underground. And you may ask yourself,
And I love that song so much. In place of our featured content creator, we've replaced that section with like a completely new thing, and we're calling it the community event section. This week we have a bit of information that has hosted a new event that's actually open to the public now, and it's called Murderball. Murderball is a themed PvP contest hosted by Chaos Weave. In this competition, it's a arena atmosphere with ships and fitting restrictions on those that participate in games. The night before last, they completed their Hunt the Moose event, where everyone was challenged to take on a Murderball champion and try to kill him in a T4 frigate. The winners would have received a 50 million-esque bounty. However, mooses are tough to kill, and that moose was still standing at the end of the night after many challengers. Their next event is called Sigma's Rager. It's scheduled about 3 weeks out, December 12th. This event has no restrictions on what you bring and will be an all-out free-for-all freaking melee. Chaos. In the words of Chaos Weave, if you've always wanted to lose a Myrmidon to a fleet of Kestrels, here's your chance. I've probably butchered everything as far as phrasing, which is wonderful. I love it. So we have this secret contest, not a secret contest, but a contest with a secret phrase that's worth 10 million ISK or more. You gotta DM me on Discord. I'm Frankie. I'm on the Eve Echoes Discord. You'll be able to find me pretty damn easily. and you have to message me this week. Well, today you're gonna have to message me the quote, "The botters are dying." That's "the botters are dying." DM that to Frankie, and you'll get a contract. So, do you have a cool story about your experiences in the game? Do you know something about interesting ops hiding under people's noses, or massive fleet battles that have gone unreported? Do you want to get some easy ISK for a bit of information and an interview? As mentioned earlier, just contact us at EER News and see if your story is worth a news bounty of up to 10 million ISK. That's eveechosradio@gmail.com, or message Frankie or Dejers on Discord. Remember, folks, this is Eve Echoes Radio, casting out of Galthnasana, something like that. I can't remember my own station name. On to our next song. This one, oh my god, this one makes me laugh too. It's another Neil Cicierega song, and this one's called Tiger.
Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his tiger. So many tigers, it happens to tigers. You trade your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the tiger's dreams. You must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger. The eye of the tiger. Face to face, out in the heat, hanging tough with the tiger. They stack the odds, still we take to the street for the tiger with the skill to survive. It's deep eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the tiger, rising up to the challenge of our tiger. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. The eye of the tiger. Tiger. Rising up, straight to the top. Had the guts, got the tiger. Went the distance, now I'm not gonna stop. Just a man, just a tiger man. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the tiger of our tiger. And the tiger stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger. 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 The eye of the tiger.
Have you ever wanted to say something in local? Something you didn't find messy or even objectionable, to be honest, but you typed it out? You typed it out and released it onto the servers and then saw nothing but redacted and stars. You swear there weren't any swears there. It felt entirely random, but you were censored. How did that feel? Well, Chinese censorship tag XXX doesn't like that at all. As the executor corporation of NBFU Alliance, this group has a firm hold on the few systems in that tightly contested region of Syndicate. They are looking for relaxed and well-rounded pilots to add to their piratey, nullseccy ways. Help build their ships, or help blow up innocent passerby ships. They don't care. After all, redacted, expunged, redacted. Reach out to Demidar, Demidar, number 7550 on Discord to learn more about Redacted. ZThatGoesRadio.com. We've changed up our market information a little bit, actually a lot of it, to cover more information in ways that are slightly more relevant to how pilots actually approach the activities that we are talking about. First, we're going to start with our PI. Our pal, JGEX, AJ, put out his PI tier list that we source some of our information from today. Thank you again for that. The top tier PI still seems to be precious alloy, heavy metals, dark compound, and crystal compound. These on a planet should nab you over 9,000 ISK per hour for every mining array you have on that planet in a system that's 0.0. Things you shouldn't be mining right now are your base metals, industrial fibers, heavy water, liquid ozone. Shouldn't be mining any of that stuff. Shouldn't be mining the fab units, smart fab units, and there's a whole ton of stuff not to do. Those will get you They will get you sub 2,500 for the same amount of effort that the top 4 give you. So place your PI mining smart and make the most ISK you can out of it. After all, it is basically free money. Now on the actual mining, all you rock shooters out there should listen up. We got some solid looks at the rocks you are hitting and putting out recommendations on the ones you should hit instead. For all us pals up there in high sec, it looks like you definitely want to focus on mining scordite and kernite for your paydays. It won't be a large one because it's high sec, but it's honest work. For everyone down in low sec, you have a couple more options. So down in low sec, we got pyroxaries, we got hamorphite, we got spodumane, and they are all valuable enough to focus on mining and will get you your biggest paydays for low sec mining. And finally, for null sec, Bestote still is a champion. Arcanor and Crokite. Those are what you want to focus on, null sec. Now a little bit of combat information. I'm talking about Dead Space loot. For those of you out there fighting the good fight about clearing null sec of NPC pirates, we'll be doing a quick look over of Dead Space loot values across New Eden. Grease's ship debris is worth over 40 million right now, followed by Sancha, just over 20 million, and Serpentis is at 15 million. Those three are your high dollar payouts, especially before the Joe fixed the problems we've been having with the extra debris clouds covering the more uninhabited spaces. Dead Space small weapons cost on an average of around 14 million, with 2 outliers. Cannons are still very cheap with a cost of 8 million for one, and missiles are still way more expensive with cost of 20 million for one. A similar story plays out with medium Dead Space weapons, with medium missiles commanding a price of about 80 million, and medium rapids holding a price of over 40 million at the moment, while the rest of the market barely clears the 10 million per. And if you don't want to brave the Dead Space, then the story missions are still a good option, especially if you work the market with them. A single Friends by Blood sells for 50 million. A Sweet Poison sells for 55. Angel or Devil hits a pleasant 60, and Bad Hair Day commands the top price of 90 million ISK. These are crazy totals. If you know what you are doing, you can twist that in your favor. On top of that, these are only the top priced scrolls. Many of the other ones that are worth 10 and 30 million ISK per. So enough people are still doing missions after the PvE patch that this is still a volatile and profitable market. Plex. Let's look at that. Well, Plex has a nice range of about 449 to 450k right now. It's pretty stable, and it's been stable for a bit at that point. So, while in our opinion, you know, we wished we could have solved 500k by now, but this definitely isn't a bad holding point. The next major jump will likely be when we roll into the Tier 9 technology. But that is so far away now that it's not even worth thinking about. We just hit Tier 8. Remember, the best time to buy Plex was at launch for pennies, but the second best time is always now. And here we're going to be playing, I believe this is our last song of the evening. This is Psychostick, and this is Political Bum. This is a great song. This has nothing to do with politics that are going on right now. This is just a general song about political bums.
I was taking a walk during my lunch break and I came across a man in a dirty brown jacket covered with many political bumper stickers that had contradicting slogans. He looked me right in the eye and then he said,
"Keep it down! The FBI's watching me!" They bugged my lunchbox because I know they're filthy skinny. They're going door to door taking everybody's jobs! CIA gave me LSD! Political bomb! Political bomb! He's got his opinions and a bottle of rum. He used to be a hippie, now he lives on the streets, striking up debates with everyone that he meets. Whoa, yeah! Political bomb! Political bomb! Political! Political bomb! Political bomb! Political!
I tried to get away, but he followed me, holding up a sign that said, "We'll eat for food." My avoidance seemed to fuel his passion, and I braced myself for another barrage of confusing rhetoric.
I lost my balls to a bomb in Vietnam. They have a sex tape with Kim Jong-il and Uncle Sam. Mountain Dew is a fundamental human right. You say my partisanship.
The sun was beginning to set at this point, and I could tell that he was just getting warmed up. Insane or not, you had to admire his dedication to his ideals, whatever they are.
Tinfoil helmet protecting my brainwaves. The DMV is run by alien sex slaves. 9/11 was an upside job. Somebody killed the fucking whale. Political bum, political bum. He's got his opinions and a bottle of rum. Republican or Democrat, you can't really tell. But your eyes start to water when you notice the smell. Oh no! Political bum, political bum, political. Political bum, political bum, political. When I was in Korea in the AMC, I saw some stuff you wouldn't believe. Your government is lying to you. We were supporting the zombie dinosaur insurgency in Vietnam, and hell, the damn CIA was playing on both sides of the conflict and funding the space vampire invasion. I was gonna tell WikiLeaks, but I got sent home after I was wounded in a crystal meth amphibians accident. Can I have your pants? You won't never get me back on a plane. I caught herpes from the TSA. JFK shot Abraham Lincoln. Somebody give me some time. Political bum, political bum. He's got his opinions and a bottle of rum. I see him on the corner almost every day. I think he takes his showers at the YMCA. That's right, the YMCA, the YMCA, the YMCA. Political bum, political bum, political. Political bum, political bum, political. Political bum, political bum, political.
Alright guys, you've been listening to That Goes Radio, and here's some other news broadcasters that you might want to check out. The Allied News Network, or ANN, is a news conglomerate headed by Rev Deuce with the goals of bringing a common thread of veracity and quality to the New Eden news sphere. Check them out by looking at Rev Deuce's channel. Also, The Kerensky Show is an irreverent look at the politics of That Goes. They do live streams on various topics to do with meta commentary and stringent politics that surround the game. And then there's EFTF, Echoes from the Front. They're also a part of ANN, which is run by Damon Zell. They air a weekly news roundup that takes a deep dive into the highlights of the previous week. I want to thank Dejers, my man behind the curtain, and we'll see you next broadcast, guys. Which should be about Friday-ish, I'm thinking. Everybody take care out there. I'm going to send it back to the outer DJ. Hey, Holy.